Good afternoon, everyone. Quackers Clocks here with another set of NFL predictions. The regular season is over, so now it's time for playoffs. I'm going to be predicting the wild card round that is taking place on Saturday and Sunday, January 9th and January 10th. So let's get into the games. So, the number 7 seed in the AFC, the Indianapolis Colts, take on the number 2 seed in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are just going to dominate the Colts. They're going to make it to the divisional round. The Colts will be out. They'll be out in the first round. So, yeah, they won against the Jaguars, but that was kind of expected. So, yeah. But the Bills are a much more powerful team. They beat the hell out of the Dolphins and resulted in a playoff elimination at 10-6. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Bills advancing to the divisional round. The Los Angeles Rams, the 6th seed in the NFC, take on the Seattle Seahawks, who are the number 3 seed in the AFC. The NFC, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks because the Seahawks beat them twice, right? They're going to do it a third time. It's a division rival game. The NFC West is dominant in this matchup here. But the Seahawks have the home field advantage due to seeding. So, yeah, we're going to play in Lumen. Bills have the number 2 seed, so they have the top, like they have the home field advantage. So, but anyways, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. Quite possibly going to the divisional round. I do have a playoff bracket here, so one of these teams, the Saints or the Bears, would play the Packers. One of these teams, Seahawks, Rams, or Washington versus Bucks. That's another division game. That's a divisional round. So the winners of those 2 games go to the divisional round, and the winners of the Saints Bears game plays the Packers. So, anyways, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks being a divisional round contender. Sorry, Rams are gonna be out of the first round. It's not gonna be the Seahawks. They're kind of powerful, but they're not. They beat the 49ers in a game that the 49ers had the lead in. But, they beat the 49ers, so they can beat you guys too. All right, so another NFC matchup, the Washington football team, who has the home field advantage at the 4th seed, takes on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are in the 5th seed. I do have them bracketed down here. So the winner of this game, if Seattle wins, takes on Seattle. If Seattle wins the Rams game and the Bucs play the Washington football team, the Bucs win against the Washington football team, then the Bucs will play the Seahawks in the divisional round. If the Saints win against the Bears, they play the Packers. So, but I'm going with the Buccaneers because they're 11-5. Tom Brady is a master at making teams better. The New England Patriots are nothing without Tom Brady, and the Bucs are happy to have him. Bruce Arians, he says he's going places. Tom Brady's going places, and I don't think he's going to be retiring anytime soon. I think he's going to be playing till he's 50 because That's how much of a good quarterback Tom Brady is. And Mike Evans is, I think, back at practice now. But I'm gonna go with the Bucs because the Washington football team is part of one of the worst divisions in all of football, the NFC East, and I don't know how a 7-9 team made the playoffs. That's because the conference the division champs go to the playoffs. So I think that's how that works. They beat the Eagles and the Giants beat the Cowboys. If they lost to the Eagles, then the Giants would have that spot, but the Giants lost to the the Giants won against the Cowboys, and the Washington football team won against the Philadelphia Eagles. So, anyways, if the Bucs and the Seahawks win, they play each other in the divisional round. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Buccaneers making it to the divisional round against Seattle. Well, time will tell. Oh, by the way, if the Bills beat the Colts, they play the Chiefs in the divisional round. Now we head over to the AFC. The Ravens, who are the 5th seed, play the Tennessee Titans, who are the 4th seed. So if the Titans or Ravens play this game, they advance to the divisional round. And if the Steelers win, they play the Ravens. And it's just a domino effect. So 6 teams will be eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, they made the playoffs, but they'll be eliminated from advancing. That's how it works. But I'm going to have to go with the Tennessee Titans because they have a higher seed. Derrick Henry is unstoppable, but it's a battle between two of the best rushers in all of American football, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. And I say rusher because Lamar Jackson is clearly a better rusher than he is a passer. So it's gonna be a game for sure. But I'm gonna have to go with the Titans getting one of these spots in the divisional round, and the Ravens being out of the playoffs because the Titans are pretty much unstoppable. And Derrick Henry is a much better rusher than Lamar Jackson is, even though Lamar Jackson is a pretty good rusher than he is at quarterback. So I don't know why he's not a running back. He should be. I mean, he takes on the role of quarterback and running back, but yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm gonna go with the Titans advancing to the AFC divisional. They're probably, if the Titans would have to go to this division. They won't play the Chiefs. The winner of this game, the winner of the Bills Colts game plays the Chiefs. So I think that's gonna be the Bills. The Bills will probably take care of I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. If the Bills win, they beat the Bills win, they play the Chiefs. If the Titans win, they have one of these spots in the divisional round. I'm gonna go with the Titans on this one. The Chicago Bears take on the New Orleans Saints. The Bears got their way into that 7th seed in the playoffs because the Arizona Cardinals lost against the Los Angeles Rams, who, as a result of the Bears' loss, got the playoff spot. They would have gotten the playoff spot anyways, even if they won. So, but I'm going to have to go with the Saints because they're going to have to play the Packers next week if they win. If the Bears somehow pull out with a win, they play the Packers in the divisional. So, I'm going to go with the Saints. I may be wrong. I do have a playoff bracket already made up. So, we'll just have to see. It's a silenced call from a spam risk thing. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Saints. And the final game of the wild card, The Browns versus the Steelers. The Browns have made the playoffs for the first time since 2002. They have an 11-5 record. Their head coach tested positive for the coronavirus, but that's okay because I think Alex Van Pelt is calling the plays. Hopefully the coordinators call the plays because they're pretty good offensive and defensive coordinators. So yeah, if the Browns win and the Ravens beat the Titans, then they play in the divisional. If the Titans win, there's a whole bunch of combinations here. So if the Ravens win against the Titans and the Browns beat the Steelers, then the Ravens and Browns will play each other in the divisional round. If the Titans beat the Ravens and the Browns win against the Steelers, they play each other. If the Steelers beat the Browns and the Titans beat the Ravens, they play each other. And then if the Ravens win and the Steelers win, they play each other in the divisional round. So it's pretty tight combination. But I'm have to go with Cleveland because they beat the Steelers once. They can probably do it again. So, yeah. And their run defense isn't as good as people say. They're going to have to deal with Ben Roethlisberger. In the light here, the Browns face the Steelers, but I'm going to go ahead and say the Browns prevail. So, my predictions for the divisional round. Chiefs versus Bills. Browns versus Titans in the AFC. And then in the NFC, I have the Packers versus the Saints and the Seahawks versus the Buccaneers. So that is my divisional round predictions. But we will have to see what goes on in this wild card race. I think the Bills could probably pull off the win against Indianapolis. The Steelers-Browns game is going to be pretty tight. Titans-Ravens is also going to be pretty tight, but we're going to have to see what happens on Saturday and Sunday. So I'll see you guys next week when I go over the wild card and divisional round predictions. The prediction videos are just going to keep getting shorter and shorter as time goes on, but there will not be a prediction video the week before the Super Bowl, but there will be like January, whatever that day is. Today's the 7th, right? So yeah, it won't be out on the 28th because there wouldn't be a game on the 24th because the no wait, would there? Actually, there would be a game. Next week's the divisional round. Next week's the conference championship, which is on the 24th. But there will not be a prediction video on January 28th, as there is no Super Bowl on Sunday, January 31st. So, anyways, yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next week.